Hello and welcome to Warp Factor Unknown, the podcast where we delve into the world of Star Trek for an unpredictable rewatch and discussion. I'm your host Dan, and joining me today is Tom, who just came back from a tour of Starbase 80.
Hi everyone, nice to be back from the Starbase.
We are also joined by our co-host, Susant, who's just got an electric shock from rerouting some power couplings.
Thank you, Dan. Hi everyone.
Welcome. Just for the crowd, did you guys know Starbase 80? Is that a reference you guys got? Did you get my reference?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, okay, well, fine.
I'm sure I don't
Lower
remember
Decks.
it.
It's a big thing in I think season 5, the last season. It's this mythical shithole of a starbase that no one wants to go to.
Right. I have not seen the last season because I was sad that it was cancelled.
Yeah, pretty sad about that too. Anyway, today we are talking about Star Trek Voyager, Season 1, Episode 16, Learning Curve. Before we start chatting about it, we're going to have Tom read us a synopsis.
Tuvok is assigned to train 4 former Maquis crew members, Dolby, Shell, Geron, and Henley, who are struggling to adapt to Starfleet discipline aboard Voyager. Captain Janeway wants a crew unified, and Tuvok's 16 years of teaching at the Academy are seen as a logical choice. However, his rigid, regulation-heavy training methods lead to friction. The Maquis resist his authority and resent the structure, while Tuvok remains steadfast in his approach. Eventually, after a confrontation and some guidance from Neelix, Tuvok begins to understand that a more flexible teaching method may be necessary to reach them. Meanwhile, the ship experiences malfunctions due to bioneural gel pack infections caused by a cheese culture Neelix brought aboard. The Doctor and Kez identify the problem, and the crew resolves it by inducing a fever-like response to kill the infection, saving the ship's systems. Tuvok's relationship with the Maquis trainees improves after he risks his life to save Geron when a conduit releases toxic fumes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one, Tom. It was one of the cleanest ones we've had in a while, actually.
I nearly
Is it
tripped up
Chell
teaching.
or Shell?
Yeah. I think it's Shell.
Is it
I
Shell?
thought it was Chell.
Or maybe it's Kel.
Oh,
it doesn't.
well, if
That's
I just
okay.
say Chell, Kel, then you can dub over it, right?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, okay, maybe.
It'd be like an awkward pause and then Chell. Yeah.
Yeah.
You spelled teaching wrong, but I managed to skip that.
Yeah, I did. I caught that as just reading. I was like, fuck, he's gonna go th, isn't he? Like a twat.
I was gonna. I couldn't think quick enough.
Yeah. I quite like this episode. I did remember it, and I remembered it sort of being one of my favorite episodes from season 1. I do find Voyager season 1 a bit rocky in places, but I quite like this one. I remember this one. Did you guys have any sort of initial reactions on this one?
I couldn't remember it until I started watching it, and then I still couldn't remember it. But I really liked it, and I thought, wow, this is an excellent episode.
Okay, good. Great. I'm glad your memory of Voyager's improving, Tom.
That's all right.
I enjoyed it. It was, to me, however, a classic filler kind of episode. Had quite a few Star Trek tropes, I felt. But I still enjoyed it, even though if there wasn't a whole lot of real character development, because I don't remember if you see those Maquis crew members again.
No, and so that, okay, 2 points on that. First of all, you're correct. This is a filler episode, and while I like it, it's a stupid choice for the season final.
Yeah.
This is the season final. It does not make any sense at all. But whatever. And as for those recurring characters, I don't think you see them again either, which is a shame because they're really good, and that would have been a great way to sort of have more Maquis crew members as opposed to mostly just Starfleet crew. And even the Starfleet crew who were Maquis, like Chakotay and Tuvok and stuff, they just become, especially Chakotay, straight man, just I am Starfleet man. It doesn't, I don't know, there's no rebellion in that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's also odd that you don't see them again, considering it's the end of season 1 and they've got 6 more seasons to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was, to me, it was as you pointed out, it was purely a filler episode that was somewhat pointless but still enjoyable, which is quite rude, but true.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're not. You can say that, but they're not enjoyable, not worthwhile watching.
Yeah,
But just,
yeah,
as you say,
yeah,
pointless.
yeah.
But, when you obviously later on we get like 24 episode seasons, 28 episode seasons. You gotta have filler. And personally, I miss the filler episodes from back in the 90s. Modern Trek, as much as I like it, I want some filler. Give me some downtime. I kind of like this. That's just kind of boring, slow paced stuff.
Yeah.
Trek does have filler. They just have less episodes.
Yeah.
Like the musical episode in Strange New World. I personally love that episode, but I know a lot of people
love that episode so much. It's so good. And I've watched it once, and I really want to watch it again. But I kind of want to leave it as long as possible so I can almost experience it again for the first time. I don't want to like binge it 2 or 3 times. And I'm really hoping we get it for this podcast. Maybe I'll fluff the rolls one day.
I've not seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to having
Tom, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Good.
It attracted a lot of hate from, call them, older fans.
Yeah, fuck Star Trek fans. Oh, fuck those guys.
So when you say musical, do all the characters sing their lines?
It's actually musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the whole thing is
amazing.
pretty much a musical. Yeah. And sorry, the whole thing is a musical, but they do have their leading into dialogue lines and then breaking out in song. So, anyway,
cool.
Not why we're here, though, I guess.
I'm not going to talk about it now because there's so many good things about the episode and so many things I love about it. Anyway, I want to talk about the opening of this episode. Janeway's weird holodeck fantasy. What the fuck is he?
What the fuck is that? That was
I know.
All I could think of, you know that meme where that guy goes, "What the hell even is that?"
Yeah.
That's all I could think of. Why would she want to pretend to be a governess?
Yeah,
in this
like a weird
period?
British
and she like
kink or something. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And like Janeway's like quite a feminist icon. She's a female leader. She's a strong scientist. She's great. But here she is like pretending to be this governess, like, and she's pushing gendered studies. Like the guy the young kid can do Latin, mathematics, and sciences. But then she turns to the young girl and she's like, "Oh, but how's your needle work?" And you're like, "What?
Yeah.
What even is this?"
I know.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
I do not buy that is Janeway's escape. I don't know what Janeway's escape should be, but it isn't that.
I always thought it would be dogs because I know she had dogs when when this all started with her partner. What's her partner's name? Mark or something?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
God, I haven't watched it in years, but yeah, I always thought it would be just lots of dogs.
just dogs.
Yeah, just patting dogs,
puppy
looking after
nursery.
dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe
lying in a field of golden retrievers. Yeah. See, that never comes back. This whatever that was, does it? That never comes back in the later series.
Oh, good question. I
don't
know they have a lot of holodeck episodes in Voyager, and a lot of them are fantastic. But I actually can't remember if the Governess series does make a reappearance. I
wonder if they were trying to plant the seeds of almost like a Dixon Hill, but for Janeway. It's like Janeway likes going to a sort of 18th century sort of world, and Picard likes, noir. I wonder if that's what they were going for. It just doesn't land.
No.
For me.
No, I agree.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's a good point, though.
However, I do love that little kid, the little guy. He's such a little shit.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, he's a little twat, and I love him.
Can't speak Latin. Yeah.
He's so good.
What really annoyed me about that is that both of their Latin pronunciation was god awful. And then he's like, "Oh, your Latin's not up to scratch," and he sounded like it just acknowledge that it's a dead language. So,
I'm gonna come across the plebeian over here and would not know what is good or bad pronunciation of Latin.
Yeah, no, neither.
Sorry. I didn't do Latin at school.
No, but it's just, I mean, it should be better than that though. But yeah, as I said, dead language, so hard to be too critical of it. But that's just me. So yeah, I was really happy when that scene ended. To put it lightly.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was kind of glad that it didn't come back through the episode.
Oh, can you imagine if the whole
It was
episode was
just a
that?
cold opener.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Janeway stuck on the whole deck with that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone else want to take us into a different direction as the episode kicks off?
I think with the whole confrontation with crewman Dolby, was it? Dolby? Yeah,
Dolby,
I thought that was. I mean, the man's clearly got pretty significant issues to just completely lose it immediately at Tuvok. That was very near the start when he's repairing the gel packs. Having said that, I've always enjoyed the idea of gel packs in Voyager, but yeah, I don't think. I think they're the only ship that ever adopted them in the end, from memory.
Yeah.
That whole conversation in the captain's ready room when they're deciding what to do. Chakotay or Tuvok, they come up with this training regime to improve the Marquis standards and so on. I think Tuvok was a good choice for this, and I kind of feel like it was the only choice because he's a bit rigid and inflexible, being a Vulcan, but also because he had that teaching experience. So it felt like the obvious choice. But I don't know. Did they ever cover these? Oh, it's only season 1, but did they ever cover that he's taught at the academy before? Or was that the first?
Yeah,
mention?
It comes back a few times.
Yeah.
I can't say where, but it does come back. Yeah, I kind of, as like a premise of the episode, I kind of like it. I like the idea that they're still working with this whole limited resource thing, and they've got some crew to integrate, and I really like that idea. And I agree, like Tuvok is the best choice in this situation. However, I don't know if they're necessarily going about it the right way. They're in such a unique situation that I understand they want to keep their Starfleet principles, but they need to be adaptable. And I kind of think, why do these crew have to live up to Starfleet? Why can't Starfleet relax just a little bit, just a touch? Because as Janeway points out, they're expecting Starfleet standards from people who never went to the academy, and they have no interest at all in that kind of lifestyle. I know if I was suddenly found myself having to sort of live and adhere to like military rule and lifestyle, I would really, really struggle. It's just not something that's ever, I don't know, appealed to me or I have any experience with. So yeah, I kind of would have liked a bit more of a nuanced approach from.
Yeah, and that's one of Janeway's real strengths, isn't it? That human element. She's really good at sort of, I mean, coming at it from a bit of a different angle, and being a bit more, I guess, human compared to, say, Picard, who is my favorite, but he's a little bit more regimented. But I thought I thought she dealt with that quite well.
Yeah, I did like that whole scene. It was a really good conversation. I like the how almost like side-eye jokes that they sort of forced Tuvok into it. Though I did think it weird that he didn't volunteer and didn't seem keen on it. For someone who taught at the academy for 16 years, why wouldn't the idea of teaching some cadets be like, yeah, okay, I could do that, easy peasy?
Yeah, I reckon.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that was a writer's mechanic just to make it seem like a challenge for him.
Yeah.
Just and it's a bit odd that he'd even resisted in the first place. He, being a Vulcan and all, he'd usually just be pretty like, oh, I'm sure. And well, yes,
he's very
Captain.
emotional, Mr. Vulcan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Actually, I just wanted to, you mentioned the gel packs, Sant. Yeah, I like the gel packs too. I think they're a neat idea, and they're a great prop when like they're handling them. It's like it feels quite, I don't know, squidgy and like good to handle.
It's definitely an ice pack, isn't it?
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah, you can see the Doctor really appreciates that nice full pack.
They do seem to have a weakness to cheese, though.
They do.
So maybe that could be ironed out.
Cheese. Yeah. But this is the part of Voyager where they're still doing the whole limited resource thing, and they mentioned, I've only got 47 of them. I like the idea of, we'll try and convert systems back to more traditional systems. I've said it before, I really wish Voyager would have kept with the whole we only have 20 torpedoes, one shuttle, and kept it for the whole 7 seasons. Oh, that'd have been so good. But they didn't.
Yeah, isn't there that very famous YouTube clipping of all the torpedoes fired in Voyager, and it ends up being like 100 and something?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it would have been much
video.
like sort of like an offshoot line somewhere in a random episode. Oh, we figured out how to, make our own or whatever. We've transformed the cargo bay into a, arms manufacturing assembly line.
Yeah, they built the Delta Flyer. Surely they could figure out how to
exactly, and they got a hydroponics bay. And but I would always love the idea of by the end of season 7, Voyager going through that wormhole, and it was all like patched up. It had like maybe like one of the nacelles had been changed out for something else, or it just been patched together over the last 7 years as they sort of made ad hoc repairs. I'd love that.
Yeah, I agree.
Alas.
I know it did get a bit patchy in the later seasons when they implemented Borg tech, but I think it would have been cool, if one of the engines or one of the nacelles was a bit more patchy,
like gold or something, like red, like C-3PO's arm in.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
true.
Yeah. Anyway, should we talk about do I actually have any notes on cheese? I don't have any notes on cheese. Oh no, I do. I have one note on cheese, but let's talk about cheese because Tom brought up cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Get that cheese to sick bay. Classic line.
Yeah.
Classic Void. It's a very iconic line. It's a great line. I love the container they have on the set. It's like this huge containment thing, and everyone's there like studying it with a little tricorders, like it's his most delicate object. But it's just some cheese. I love it. I think it's great.
The cheese looks absolutely gross. It's like
it does look gross.
What is schlicht? Which is
some alien thing you can make cheese from.
But does schlicht come back in any other episodes of Star Trek at all? Because I've never heard it mentioned before.
I mean, I hope not.
No.
Considering what I did the first time. But
yeah, no, I think just like as they travel, like Neelix just picks up random ingredients whenever they stop off somewhere.
I've always liked that about Neelix.
Yeah.
That he's like a forager, a space forager. I think that's But at the same time, I mean, he nearly destroyed an entire starship, and I don't think there were any consequences.
He was really sorry about it, and it wasn't his fault.
I also think the way that the emergency was dealt with by raising the temperature of the Voyager without maybe checking if there's people in critical positions that could die from it was a slight oversight.
Yeah, attention. Like, could they not have like put all the crew in like a cargo bay or a holodeck or somewhere, and keep that one room cool?
I'll say, guys,
and just superheat everywhere else.
Can everyone gather in such and such a place, the conference room, and then we're going to keep that cool. That's as an example. But rather, did they even tell these people that were in this room that the three of them at the end when they nearly die that they were going to do this? I can't remember them announcing.
No, there was no like shipwide announcement. Otherwise, Tuvok would have cancelled a lesson before.
Well, I think it was that whole we need to act right now, and so that which is also very Janeway to just make an impulse decision. But
I like that scene, that whole when everyone's sort of almost dying from heat exhaustion. The Doctor is completely fine, obviously, and I wonder if that's the first time or one of the first times when he was in that situation where the crew was kind of incapacitated, but he was still fine, and if that plants the scene for the emergency command hologram, and he starts thinking about, in this situation, I could do more. And I'm like, that's amazing. This must be because he could have that'd have been a great opportunity for Doctor, we're gonna all pass out. When the time comes, press the button to cool the temperature.
Yeah, that episode is one of my favorite episodes.
It's so good. I love it.
Especially when the 4 Pips appear and his uniform turns red, and then Jane was like, "Nice touch." So good.
Yeah, I love it. But it makes logical. It's a great idea. It's like some sort of automated backup when the ships are in.
Oh, it is
in peril.
absolutely a great idea. I just don't think all of the bells and whistles that were part of the Doctor's personality needed to come with it, which is part of the point. But
No, but this was his holodeck fantasy, so he
yeah,
can,
exactly.
Be extravagant.
Yeah,
paint seven
nude. Yeah.
So that was a weird choice on that bit,
Yeah.
I think.
But
anyway,
I don't know. I reckon we know it's a Rick Berman one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I didn't mean from like a writing perspective. I meant from more like a character perspective.
Ah, true. Yeah.
Okay, I want to go back to the training thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they pick out these marquee because they are problem crew. I think the episode might have been a bit better if they'd also had one or two Starfleet crew in there.
Yeah.
Because they can't have been the only ones who are like struggling because they're so far from home. That there would have been a couple of Starfleets who were not coping with the situation and could also do a bit of refresher.
Yeah.
And so I think actually, when is it Dolby? He says this is insulting. Yeah, he's right. That is insulting to them.
Yeah,
I'm with the Marquis on this one.
I had the same thoughts as well.
Put Kim in there.
Yeah. Or put just people, anyone, even if it's just even if it's just for show. It's just maybe Tuvok needed a bit of help.
Actually, Kim deserves to be in there after that comment he made about you missed the spot.
Oh,
that was. I thought. Oh,
such a dick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have been happy to see Kim in there just for that reason.
But yeah, there could have been like a Starfleet who had maybe fallen in with the wrong crowd, being the Marquis, become quite friendly with them, sort of thing, and almost acting out. Yeah. So much opportunity, but
Speaking of when they first started being really difficult with Tuvok, which I don't think really made any sense. I know they were rebellious, and when they were being, come on, let's get out of here, kind of thing, and refusing to listen to him and so on. I thought that was just a bit far. I feel like no one on a starship would ever really do that. But the call it the bitch session in the bar at Neelix's bar was odd because I don't know if Chakotay punching Dolby was right.
Yeah.
That's an interesting scene, that one is. I liked the scene, and I agree. I don't know if it was the correct choice for Chakotay to punch him. However, the note I took down is Chakotay's character would have been better overall if he'd acted more like a pirate more often and not just been Starfleet straight man all the time. Yeah, it'd been more interesting. Yeah. So while I agree, I don't think it was the best choice he made. I kind of like that part of his character which never gets explored. So yeah, mixed feelings on that one.
Yeah, I saw it coming. As soon as I was like,
it wasn't a subtle scene.
No, but I'm like, oh well, I know what he's gonna do now, and then he did it. I'm like, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, but that's a good point. Maybe I've changed my initial reaction to it a little bit.
Maybe it only kind of works if Chakotay keeps being a bit rebellious himself, but he never does.
Yeah, he really slips back into the Starfleet role pretty easily, doesn't he? So.
He does. I never bought him as a Marquis. He just doesn't. I don't buy it. He's just too Starfleet.
Maybe the actor's just not very good. Knowing what he's sort of become these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen John Bell train in anything other than Voyager, so can't comment, I guess.
I think I've looked him up on YouTube as for sort of funsies, but yeah, nothing too much, nothing particularly memorable came up. So actually, I've got a fun fact for the episode.
Oh, please, we love a fun fact.
Kes didn't appear until minute 17 and 30 seconds. So which for me was a positive because I don't like her.
No, I mean, like, that was kind of the same with Tom, character Tom, not podcast host Tom.
Not me coming in a minute, 36 seconds into the podcast. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
He only had one.
Yeah, they were clearly as like, oh, this is not an episode for you, but we have a contract obligation to give you a line, so here it is. You know.
Yeah, it was at the very end. It was like, oh, something, Captain at the helm, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
oh, okay. I'd actually forgot that he was even, you know, I guess because we don't watch it every day, so. But.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, when back sort of classic, we're jumping around. When they're doing Tuvok's training and they're in one of the cargo bays, and he's like, "I will now inspect your uniforms." I don't. And it's not. This happens in DS9 as well. And TNG. They clamp down quite a bit on religious symbols on people's uniforms. I don't like that. Like, it's always pretty subtle, like the Bajoran earring sort of thing. It'd be like if someone was wearing a cross, and actually we have seen in Lower Decks there's a character wearing a turban. So I don't like how they were clamping down on that religious stuff. I think just have some flexibility in that uniform. Again, back to my earlier comment, these guys aren't Starfleet. A bit of leeway. And actually, now I think about it with the whole characters we see in Lower Decks, there is actually flexibility in uniforms if they want to.
Yeah, that was odd. I thought the earring was allowed, but I must be conflating it with
his sash.
Yeah, or DS9 as well. So because I was so used to Kira wearing it, but I know she's not Starfleet. She's not Starfleet at the start. She's Bajoran militia or military or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did find that unusual, and for an organization that's part of the Federation, which is so open to different races, you know, beliefs and so on, it doesn't make any sense. So
yes, Starfleet and the Federation should be more open to more different cultures, and it doesn't appear to be.
I reckon they are, though.
Anyway.
I reckon that was just a gaffe for that episode. So
yeah. No, but because I remember in the TNG episode with who's the Bajoran Ensign Ro?
Yeah.
Great character.
Riker brings her down for wearing the earring. He pulls her up on that, and which is bollocks. Fuck off, Riker. Let her wear the earring. She's great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. God, I was teary when she died.
Oh man, yeah. I always like the thing where she was supposed to be Kira in DS9, but for whatever reason she didn't want the role, so they gave it to Nana Visitor, who was also amazing as Kira. So, you know, I don't know, mixed feelings. I would have liked Ro, but I like Kira.
Yeah. I think the strictness, though, do you think it was just down to Tuvok being Tuvok, as opposed to like the directors thinking that's the whole Starfleet?
No, I think he quoted Starfleet regulations and so on. So when he was,
and as I said, like Riker does it in TNG, the exact same thing with the earring.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get Chel's necklace because that appeared to be just like a cool necklace he liked, as opposed to a religious thing. But yeah.
I put it this way: I understand uniforms, but little cultural or religious things, I would expect them to allow. I know that if you're in the defense forces, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to wear turbans. Actually, I don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but
was it in New Zealand fairly recently that you're now allowed to have I don't know what they're called, the face tattoos in the military? I think that may have been changed. Don't quote me on that.
Moku, I think it's called.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Moku, I think. Let me look it up.
Because again, it's such a weird hangover. Like it's such a big part of Kiwi culture that it should be allowed in their military. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong on that. Hopefully I'm not.
Yeah,
I think I saw it on the news.
Yeah, Moko.
It also looks sick as fuck.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating. I think it's beautiful, but like if
Yeah.
I know it's kind of it's
I
fascinating.
guess it's permanent as well. It's not like a transfer or something.
Yes. Tattoo.
Yeah,
Like a temporary tattoo on your
that's
face.
all right. No, that is intimidating.
My grandmother had it actually.
Really?
One of my relatives. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And they do it through with PowerShell. It's meant to be a pretty. They describe it as a bit of a transcendental experience, but I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm no expert on it. But
what is that? Like a material or a drug?
Power is a type of shell, but it's kind of a rainbow shell.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it to cut, and then I think the ink they sort of pour it in. I can't remember. I used to know a lot more about it when I was a kid.
It's also in the Mario games as well.
Such a Tom comment.
Okay, right. That's a classic Tom comment. That's staying in there.
I love the silence.
Okay.
We should time that silence to see how long it was for an answer.
Yeah, I'm keep that one in its entirety. Yeah.
I do want to cover one thing though that I forgot on the what was it on? Oh my gosh, my memory today is all over. When they're heating up the virus, to kill the infection, the jetpacks, gel packs.
Yeah.
Does it make sense that it would kill it so quickly? I feel like you'd have to heat it up to such a temperature to really do any damage that quickly. To a point where I feel like humans wouldn't survive. Again, not an expert. And it was funny. I forgot to mention this before, but when the ship's dying and they're conversing about this whole idea, Kim is like, "Oh, comms are down," and then Captain Janeway's like, "Captain to engineering" or something. It's like, what?
Immediately.
Yeah.
He didn't even acknowledge.
Yeah.
And then they're having a big chat, and they're like, "We'll nuke the virus."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all right. But
I love it.
Yeah.
So I think it might be that exact scene. Then that Janeway and Torres have like a little technobabble conversation, and I love that. I like that Janeway is the scientist captain, and she can talk the talk, as it were. She knows her stuff. I think that's a really cool little scene.
Can keep
spotlight,
up,
even though they're talking absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
I like the scene of the Doctor in his bedside manner. It's really fun. It's kind of cute, bit silly. I like it. It doesn't overstay its welcome, but it's nice and light-hearted.
He's good like that, the Doctor. He's definitely
good like that. Yeah,
it's one of the probably. I mean, to me, he's one of the best characters in Voyager, and all of that characterization is actually maybe I would say so.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So he's probably my favorite Doctor in terms of.
I think when we did our crew selection, I think I chose Phlox.
Really?
I think.
I think I chose Crusher. Yeah, I think I chose Crusher.
Jeez, I wonder why.
Yeah, I know.
You horny fuck.
Yeah.
But I think second choice, for different reasons, would be...
I don't want to say mummy, but I feel like the word mummy's appropriate here.
Total
yeah. I think the Doctor from Voyager is definitely second on the list for different reasons.
Yeah, I can't find it. Anyway, okay, crew training again. Why do they need to run on deck 13? Can't they use, wait for it, a treadmill in the gym or a holodeck?
That's
because
when they're doing the 10K run.
Yeah, the 10K run. But he said I increased the gravity by 10% on a whole deck. What about the people who are living and working there?
Yeah, it was like, oh my god, why are we finding this so difficult?
Yeah, exactly.
And they were all walking around like normal as well. The crew. They were running past, going, and then like all these crew members were like, "Morning," strolling past.
Yeah. Like I don't know if we ever see an actual gym on Voyager. We see one on Next Gen. I know we see the racquetball thing on DS9, but I assume it was a gym or some kind of space like that on Voyager.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, holodeck is the obvious choice.
Obvious
But,
choice. Yeah.
I mean, you could still get the same effects, but maybe I don't know. I'm really reaching here, but maybe them being shamed in front of other crew members will be a bigger motivator to the.
Oh, so he's hazing them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Yeah, okay.
and
great.
I guess it makes it more
Man,
real to
Vulcans
the
are such
Maquis.
pricks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be valid. I'm trying to. It's a reach,
Maybe,
but you know,
yeah.
the Maquis are
Like,
very proud people.
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
It makes it more real to them as opposed to the
Like
simulation.
Tuvok did say that his teaching methods are tried and true, so maybe this is just what he used to do.
But he could
though,
still do it at the
speaking of,
holodeck.
He is a bit of a shit teacher, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I also love the scene with Neelix. I have like issues with Neelix, especially like early season Neelix. He's really creepy, but when he's good, he's good. And this is one of the times when he's good, and he very nicely points out that Mr. Vulcan, you're inflexible, and I love that he's calling him out. And yeah, it just works. So I like that scene.
It was a good. I like how he used the flowers as the analogy as well.
It was a good prop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their relationship is a very good relationship through through the series, really.
It's not quite on the level of like Odo Quark, but it's good. It's good.
No, yeah. But Odo Quark is one of those special ones, I would say. That does remind me on the rigidity and inflexibility of Tuvok, and that kind of manifests itself in him saving Geron in the
question mark.
Yeah. In the last scene when he orders everyone out and then they're like, we're not going to leave him, and then Tuvok says, what's his name, Crewman Dalby, and then it just shuts them out and then goes and grabs Geron. All he had to do was say, I'm going to rescue him, but can you please leave and I'll try to rescue him.
Yeah, it's not
dead.
It's like instead he just like tried to threaten to break that guy's arm.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
What? Yeah, so I absolutely agree that for someone who's had 16 years at the academy and is obviously a massively high achiever to be to be serving as a lieutenant on Voyager, it doesn't really fly. But
and it's so weird, like, that he's such a bad teacher. Because even though the people at the academy want to be there must have been students at the academy who were problem students. Actually, we know this. Balana, she went to the academy, but she dropped out because she couldn't hack it. So there are problem students at the academy, and I don't believe that he would have gone 16 years and just had straight A's, top 1% students.
No,
that's not how that works. So why is he struggling with these problem ones? I don't know. I like the episode, but
it's all the same with Neelix saying you're too inflexible, and it's also like, well, that's weird that you're inflexible for being a teacher. So like,
exactly.
Aki's a Vulcan, but acknowledge that he's a Vulcan, but teachers go through a lot. I just wanted to comment on one thing: the activewear uniform and the sneakers for the 10K run.
The sneakers. Oh god, those trainers.
They're so bad. They're probably almost fashionable these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I kind of like the overalls are a bit crap, but I kind of like the trainers for just how ridiculous they were. I did kind of like that because you get some nice close-up shots on the ladder.
Yeah, but why was the activewear like this felty sort of material? Like it?
Yeah, that did not look like it'd be good for like sweat management.
Yeah, at all. Like the worst choice.
Sci-fi material. Yeah.
Maybe it's one of Tuvok's torture regimes again. So increasing gravity.
The worst.
Yeah, maybe.
The worst.
Making them run in snow gear.
So I only have one last note, and it's actually it's a really minor one. When in Tuvok's training thing, and they get that conduit explodes, and they're trapped in there, and they can't open the door. The manual override is too reliant on the ship's systems. It should be a purely mechanical lever.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
it should just work 100% of the time and never fail.
Yeah.
That's bollocks and is going to get people killed.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. When he's like, the manual override's broken, I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Literally
What?
impossible.
What's it
Huh?
mean? Like, they should have had, like, the conduit or something explode near the door so they can't get near the door physically. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or something fell on top of the...
Yeah,
I don't know. There was heaps of ways to do it, and it was a stupid choice.
Yeah,
so.
Anyway, it was a stupid choice. Yeah, anyway, love it.
I know there was a real shock factor when Tuvok and Dolby were having that pool sesh at the to get to know each other. But the line 3 Cardassians raped her and smashed her skull, that's a lot. Like
that's pretty heavy.
I think that's the heaviest line I've ever heard in Star Trek. In terms of like, I know, like, at least I can think of right now. Maybe it's a big statement, but
I was going to say yes. That is a very heavy line, and the delivery was great. It was a good moment.
It's his best acting. That actor's Dolby's best acting in the entire episode.
Yeah, 100%. But in terms of like heaviness, and I know it doesn't always come across as like with that same sort of weight because it's almost cheesy in how ridiculous it was. But Yar's the gang rape stuff that kept coming up in TNG, that's also pretty damn heavy.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
it never seems to have had like the same weight as what that scene had just then. Yeah, that was a good scene. I do actually quite appreciate how Tuvok did go. I do have a family, but nothing would compare to your story. Because he could have easily gone like logical. Yes, I have a loving wife and 3 children, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of like how he did. He read that room a little bit and was like, "Yeah, that's pretty heavy, man."
Yeah, I think. Yeah. But this is kind of my issue with this episode as well. I'm almost out of notes, and so which is unusual for a Star Trek episode for us almost to be for us to be done in maybe 20-30 minutes or something.
No, I'm up to about 45 on my recording.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So no, it's about right actually. We've not had like what I would say many like long, big, meaty discussions. It's been a lot of like little bits here and little bits there. So it's not been like a big thing we've been able to pull out.
I think that's just this episode though, isn't it? There's not really anything massively apart from what was just mentioned.
Yeah, it's not really saying anything this episode. It's not, there's no big message. There's no, racism is bad sort of thing. It's not that kind of episode.
Yeah.
Is that I don't know, have any notes, Tom? You got anything else you want to
I like the degorsing scene, apart from Kim's comment, but I like the fact he'd made him do it manually with that little device.
Okay, actually,
what's
with that,
the point,
I was like, wait, it's going to take like 26 hours.
Yeah.
Is he expected to do that in like one sitting? Is that going to take him like 3 days?
Also, is that legal?
Yeah.
Exactly, is that legal? What is
Does he get his like breaks entitled in that, or has he got to do all in one go? No breaks.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. Like, just how if he'd said like, "Oh, it's going to take 6 hours," sure, that kind of makes sense. But 26 hours, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Kim really shit me. Like, I know he was trying to be funny, but I'm like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Fucking prick.
They should definitely
get demoted.
That.
Oh wait.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
So on Kim as well, I think just complete sidebar, but I think my favorite episode of Harry Kim is the one where him and Chakotay are trying to fix the timeline to rescue Voyager. Do you remember that one?
Ooh, no.
Great. I think it's Chakotay. I'm pretty sure it's Chakotay, but I can't remember. But it's a great episode. Because you see a side of Kim where he's been trying to fix it for years in the future, pretty much.
Those kind of episodes.
And he's like, he actually looks like he's learned a lot, and he's really just defeated.
Have you watched Prodigy, son?
No, not yet. No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a character in that show, Rock Talk, and she's quite young, a kid, and same thing. She gets like stuck in something like time loop, and she learns and grows. And one episode that's so good. But yeah, I love those kind of episodes. They're great.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Groundhog Day kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love Groundhog Day.
Yeah. That's some of the best.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think of a good Groundhog Day episode. Or someone when they're stuck in a loop, but they don't realise they're stuck in a loop in TNG, and Data's the only one that knows. But
that one's
that
good.
is so good.
Yeah,
Love that one.
Good as well.
I was going to say there's a meme came out of that one of Geordie by the screen. You know, we could have been here 10 times or 1,000.
Yeah, that's so good.
I love a good meme.
There's that Voyager one as well, where they're battling that ship for like it's a two-part episode. And,
Year of Hell?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then
That's
at the
a
end
class.
they fix it
Great.
and they come back and it just closes with Captain's log, like nothing happened, and then
it's
Janeway
crazy.
they've detected like something really remote, but they've got no idea what it is, and like and it's like it was a great conclusion to that episode. But
if there was ever going to be a Star Trek Voyager movie, that should have been it. That had such great movie potential.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I got one more thing. The holodeck test. I had issues with it because it was just way too predictable, but maybe it was, you're calling it's a sort of a Easter egg / callback to the Kobayashi Maru.
Oh, right, yeah,
And it was like, I know exactly what's going to happen, and the whole lesson of, them going up against an unwinnable kind of battle and seeing how they react. I don't know if it was needed. It felt a bit wedged in.
What that team needed at that point was a quite an easy win to give them that cohesion of like unity. So give them a fairly simple scenario mission. Because the impression is this is their first one they're doing, their first scenario, and he gives them that. It's like, come on, man,
an unwinnable simulation.
Yeah.
It's like, great way to make friends, mate.
Yeah, the impression I get with the Kobayashi Maru is that something that you take on like your third year of being in Starfleet Academy. That's like a quite an advanced simulation you take when you're almost quite ready to take over command. It's like you've learned all the theory and all how to do all this stuff, but here's what it's really like. And they sort of almost like try to ground you back in reality at the Academy.
Yeah.
And before they give you on the ship. So giving it to these guys, no.
Yeah, non-Starfleet personnel, giving them potentially one of the hardest tests, designed that's unwinnable. So Kirk had to hack it. It was a poor choice. Yeah. But I do wonder if it was like a more of an Easter egg and a bit of a something
100%.
to wedge in for TOS fans. So.
Okay, shall we wrap this thing up, do some final thoughts, get some IMDb's on the go, and carry on from there?
Yeah.
Tom, do you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the whole episode. Thinking about it now, it definitely was a filler episode, but I thought the characters were really strong in it. I liked the sort of tension between the Marquis and Tuvok was just so annoyingly rigid. But then when Neelix demonstrated how he should be more flexible, and Tuvok instantly jumped to, "Oh, you mean they're the ones who are inflexible?" And he's like, "No, actually, you are the one that's being, inflexible and unbendable." And then there were a few parts of this episode that obviously were a bit weird, like when he threatened to break his arm rather than actually tell him what he was doing, and little things that stand out like that's just not how it would probably be. But on the whole, I really liked it. All the characters. I didn't really have any weak points for me, just weird points. So I am going to give it a 7.8.
Excellent. Fantastic. I'll jump in next if you like. Yeah, I kind of agree with what you said. I like the episode; it's really good, and I like the episode more when I think about it as a kind of what could have been if Voyager had kept on this limited resources stuck in the Delta Quadrant thing. So if you're just watching it like from season 1 and this is your first time going through it, I really like it from that perspective. In hindsight, it falls off a little bit because they do drop basically all of that kind of stuff going forward, sort of like from like mid-season 2, season 3. But I really like it, even though, yeah, it's a filler episode, really weird end of season episode, where it's whatever, I like it. I don't like Tuvok's teaching, that's really effing weird, but, overall, episode's good, and we do get the whole get that cheese to sick bay thing, so I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say a bit above average. I'm gonna give it a nice 6.5.
I think I agree with both of your points. Quite like the limited resource angle. It might, sort of gives me a bit more of an appreciation for the episode, to be honest. But I think, in summary, I would say pure filler, not much development, pointless overall, but still enjoyable. And it also had some great one-liners, like the get that cheese to sick bay, and then the really intense Cardassian line. But yeah, I think overall it was a fun but pointless episode. I'll say that. But maybe I'm being a little harsh. So I don't know how to do that. I can't distinguish in 10 percentiles of points, so I don't know what the difference between a 6 and a 6.1 is. So I'm going to go with halves. I give it a 6.5, so 6.5. So I'm actually the same as you, Dan.
6.5. Excellent. Good. Right. Well, let's have a look and see what it actually got on IMDb.
I mean, I guess the decimal system of like a 0.1, 0.2 makes sense for an average score.
This is just based off of like IMDb scores, and they go in that 10-point percentile. And I think I've said it like 1,000 times now, but I've been trying to like break away from that with like 7 being good. Trying to make 5 be the middle. Right, Star Trek Voyager Learning Curve. It gets a 7 on IMDb.
Oh,
that's good.
Holy shit! Have I fucked up? No,
What?
Damn it. This is episode 50,
What?
not 60.
No.
Wait, hang on.
No, it's not.
Someone's wrong somewhere. Maybe there's a 2. Oh, I bet it's counting.
No, it's not.
The first one.
I'm just checking it now.
This is 16.
Everywhere it says S01, A16.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay, IMDb, you're wrong. Unless it's counting the first episode, which is a 2-parter, is 1 episode, then this would be
15 is Jetrel.
Okay, thank God. I panicked there. I was like, oh, God, I've been saying this whole thing. Oh, fine. Good. Okay. I might cut the whole thing. Anyway, yeah, great. Yeah, 7's pretty good. It's a fine episode.
Yep.
I do think that's generous, personally. To me, a 7's kind of like a good episode. An 8's very good.
On like an IMDb,
9
that
is excellent, and then
score.
10's like, once or twice a series kind of thing.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy with that.
Right, let us move into choosing another episode. So, Tom, while you start getting your selector thing ready,
Yeah.
I will remind everyone of the rules, is that we will watch 2-part episodes. We will not watch whole story arcs. If we get the same episode, we'll go up or down. We can't have the same show we just watched, so we can't have Voyager again. And we can't have the same show twice per season, which I also think means we can't have Voyager again. I think we've had Voyager twice now. But everything else, I believe, is up for grabs in this selection, Tom.
I'll update that
So
list.
I think you should have, I want to say 12 on your list. It should just be excluding Voyager.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to watch, Sant, as you're here for our next episode?
Oh, do I get a choice?
We didn't get a choice, but like anything you'd like, you really quite like to see.
I mean, that Year of Hell would be a great one.
Well, we can't have Voyager though.
Oh, okay. The musical,
Yeah.
fantastic.
The musical, okay, yeah.
I mean, have you done many Picard episodes?
We had one last, which is actually it was an interesting one actually. Yeah, it was a good one.
Okay, because season 3 of Picard, I've absolutely
Yeah, we had the episode where they went to the space museum, the Starfleet museum.
Is that season 3?
Yeah.
Oh, is it
And
the end
all the old ships and stuff?
with Geordie?
No,
is it?
no, it's in the middle. It's like season 6. No, episode 6.
Oh,
we got.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan, just tell me again what episode we should seasons. Sorry, we should have. And what we should... I've got Discovery,
Okay,
DS9, Enterprise,
yeah,
Lower Decks, Picard, Prodigy,
Yeah.
Short,
yeah,
Strange New Worlds,
yeah,
TAS,
yeah.
TNG.
Sorry, you did that. That's so out of order. It's insane.
It's alphabetical. It's alphabetical.
But like, it's not.
Yeah,
I always
no
do
one does it in
chronological.
alphabetical
I see.
order.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Hang on. Have you got Lower Decks?
Yes.
Yeah, you got
Prodigy,
series. You got the movie. You got Prodigy.
Yeah.
TOS, TNG,
Yeah.
DS9,
Yeah.
Voyager.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no,
Enterprise.
we're not doing Voyager, are we?
Oh, sorry, Enterprise.
Yeah.
What's after Enterprise?
We Discovery, Prodigy,
Discovery, Prodigy, Lower Decks, Strange New World.
Strange New World. Have you got the movies in there as well, Tom?
That's why I knew I was missing something.
Movies, there we go.
So that together
Okay.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 to choose from.
12. Okay, that sounds right. Cool. Okay, Tom, roll as a number.
Okay, I am now rolling. So between 1 and 12. Hang on, how on my phone? 12. Ooh. Okay, so we actually have 1, which according to my alphabetical list is Discovery.
Oh, Discovery, going back to... We've had a lot of Discovery in our podcasting. We have.
I can always roll again.
Do you know what? I'm going to...
Are you going to use your veto, Dan?
We don't give vetoes because if we had vetoes, we'd never watch Discovery.
Oh, I thought you get 1 veto a season or something.
No, we don't do. No, never done. It's just because I know that.
Oh no, I'm confusing you for schmacked or unschmown. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, fair enough. Unless anybody's got like some really strong feelings against watching Discovery.
No.
Yeah.
You have?
Oh no,
Okay,
no.
fine.
Like I'm struggling through Discovery. No, but it's related. But I'm struggling through Discovery at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is in the last few weeks, and I've watched 1, 2, 3, and I'm still catching up. I think on the latest season, 4 and 5.
Okay.
That's right.
That's interesting because I think in this podcast, me and Tom have had more later seasons of Discovery, like season 4, 5.
Yeah.
And I was going to say I would quite like to have a season 1 episode. Yeah. So. Okay.
I think we should
take it
we
away.
should continue. So I'm going to now do between 1 and 5. 4. We're not.
So you say 4? 4. Okay, we're season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Which I believe is all Burn stuff, I think.
I mean, so it's
1 moment. Okay, we've previously had episode 11 from season 4, but let me go find.
I think
the
I'm up to
episode
like
list.
season 4, episode 4.
Okay.
Okay, so hopefully we get episode 5. That'd be so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, 13. There's 13 episodes.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1. Again.
1.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, Kobayashi Maru.
Oh, Kobayashi Maru. Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice. Hang on. Let me find a synopsis for that. Actually, you've just watched it. What's it about?
Oh, no. I watched, like, when I say a few weeks, I meant probably like a few months ago, so I can't quite remember. But after months spent reconnecting the Federation with distant worlds, Captain Michael Burnham and the crew of USS Discovery are sent to assist a damaged space station. The seemingly routine mission reveals the existence of a terrifying new threat. I think I know
good.
this one.
Yeah, all right. Was that any good?
No.
Oh.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, no. Oh well.
I need a.
It might be better.
Hold on.
Better on
Let me
second
try.
watch.
Let me try. Remember. It's the one where they meet the new Federation president.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's great. I like her.
I've only seen a few episodes of her, but she seems
okay.
alright. And a space station's been sent spinning uncontrollably. And then Burnham decides to help evacuate the personnel. And essentially Rylac or Relac or whatever her name is attends, insists on attending. And she's questioning all of Burnham's decisions because, Burnham's a bit of a cowboy in a way. But it turns out she's assessing her role as a potential candidate for a new assignment, and I think I can't quite remember what the assignment is.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and I think
okay.
it might be before Book's planet is destroyed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. Oh no! So no. Actually, it is the episode that his planet gets destroyed.
Oh, that one. Okay.
At the end, that's how it concludes. So actually, no, I take that back. It is not bad, but there are a few bits in it where you're like, oh my god, get on with it. So,
yeah, fair enough. Which is weird to open a season with an episode that's a bit like slow.
Yeah, like the start's really quick, and then it sort of bogs down, and then it sort of comes back up, and you can kind of see through a lot of it. It's not very subtle, I should put it that way. But when his planet gets exploded, that's probably actually the most interesting and concerning. Well, it obviously is the most concerning, but it's probably also the most interesting thing happened.
Yeah, because the whole... Is it DMV that does it?
I don't know.
Whatever, like the space wormhole thing.
Yeah, it is.
Bombs,
it is. And I think,
Yeah.
but I haven't, I think it's that. What's Saru's race again?
Kelpian.
Yeah, I think it's that Kelpian.
Okay.
I think.
Yes. No. He did the burn.
Oh, okay. So this is after. Yeah, that's right.
This is after the burn.
I'm mixing them a little bit, but yeah, it's.
Yeah.
But I know I can't.
Okay, actually, this would be really good if you've watched it fairly recently-ish. That'd be kind of good.
Am I on the next one?
Yeah, you're on the next one. You're with
cool.
us.
All right. I'll watch it again.
2 in a row.
Yeah, I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Right. Well, in that case,
that's handy because I'm actually up to date then to be able to watch it because I'm still a few episodes behind on
Which makes a change because normally when we do these episodes, even if it's like DS9 or something, like everyone's seen it, but not in like how many years. So it's kind of nice to have some like familiar memories on it.
Yeah, I like Discovery, but I do have issues with it.
Me too. I'm exactly the same. I love Discovery, and it's got so much potential to be such a good show, but it just misses the mark constantly.
Yeah, it's kind of like Strange New Worlds was the one that was able to just fix that.
hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
Just swing and just hit it.
Yeah. God, what a great series. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to wrap us up because we've been here for a while. Thank you for listening into Warp Factor Unknown. I've been your host, Dan, and I've been joined by my co-host, Tom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Excellent. And we've also been joined by our co-host, Susant.
Thank you. Had a great time.
That was excellent. I love that. Today we talked about Star Trek Voyager's episode Learning Curve from Season 1. Join us next time for another deep dive into the Star Trek universe, and we discuss the episode Kobayashi Maru from Discovery, Season 4, Episode 1. Until then, thank you for your continued support. If you would like to contact us, please email us at warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. That again is warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. Don't forget to do all the social stuff, share, like, comment, stuff, whatever, The music we use for our intro and outro is called Starfleet Command by Jeff Harvey.